Hey, your body, peace, and harmony here today. The narcissist or psychopath and what they should really be anxious about. One typical hallmark characteristic of the narcissist, the psychopath, the personality disordered individual is that they really don't express anxiety, feelings over emotions, over things that they really should, or what the normal person should display anxiety or some sort of emotional reaction for. So in other words, there's a certain affect, A-F-F-E-C-T, affect deficit that we see displayed in the narcissist or psychopath. What are some examples that might kind of stand out as red flags or really strong indicators? And thus, you can see how this would then transfer or translate to a different sort of emotional connection to people or to other objects or circumstances in life. For example, let's look at the experience of having a pet. Oftentimes, people become very attached to their pet. I mean, a pet can be like a family member. A pet can really be part of a loyal member of the family for many years. A pet can be a confidant in a way, man's best friends. This pet is trained by them, has developed a certain relationship, a certain loyalty, a certain, emotional connection with people. Maybe it's been part of, your family as a child. There's definitely a relationship and a kinship that the dog and their master feel together. Now, taking that lack of emotional connection, lack of emotional affiliation and attachment of meaning to certain things that it's really a deficit or a lack in the emotional and kind of physiological makeup of the narcissist or psychopath, i.e. they lack empathy, i.e. they don't have certain emotional triggers that really most people would have an emotional trigger by. How does this really manifest or display? Well, look at the example of a pet. As we just stated, that it's traditionally a very close relationship. There's a fondness there. Well, for example, if you've ever witnessed a psychopath or a narcissist, when they, especially a psychopath, like higher on the gradient scale, when they have lost a pet, it's been put down due to illness, or the pet has been lost in a divorce, they have a very flat affect, meaning they don't really get emotional over the loss of this pet. In contrary, in the narcissist, we can sometimes see an over-attachment to a pet figure, especially if this person has had kind of control over this person and they kind of love this dog more than any other relationship in their life. That can often be a good red flag or indicator of a narcissist, is that they really only feel connection or more love to an animal than they do to people. Not a different love, but more the fact that they can kind of control and train this dog, and the dog has this unconditional love for them, and really can't frustrate the narcissist because they're always a source of supply. They never fail in their source of supply for that narcissist. So it's very interesting. Also, other anxiety reactions that you typically might see. For example, you're running late. Typically in the psychopath, they really have no sort of anxiety over certain situations. For example, if they're letting somebody down, a family member, they're not showing up for an appointment, an important meeting, they're not there for their visitation. They might just not really show much concern. I mean, even to the children themselves, and the children are crying. The children are freaking out. Where are you? This is our day. This is so important to us. A psychopath typically has no affect, no emotional reaction. Very disturbing in that usually it's that, provider bond that the psychopath or, a father should have. And in the psychopath, or maybe even in the boyfriend-girlfriend, the significant other relationship, they don't have much of a of a concern or anxiety or feeling that they've let somebody down. They just don't have that emotional connection. There's definitely a biological, physiological connection to that, most definitely in certain areas of the brain that are smaller in their brain, particularly the prefrontal and occipital lobes. There's been various studies showing they have smaller brain structures, and they're not as active. These areas of the brain are really not active. They're kind of dormant in the brain scans of these individuals. What are some other examples that we might normally see anxiety? For example, over certain words, rape, incest, cheating on others. Certain emotional triggers just don't register in the mind of the psychopath. It just doesn't, cause a feeling of compassion or brotherhood, or humanity. Like I feel for you. I want to help this person. Also, in the narcissist, and of course more pronounced in the psychopath, they have a huge propensity to danger. They will, put others in danger and not feel a tinge of concern about it. They don't understand why one would react the way that they do. That you would just submitted them to a dangerous sexual act. I mean, they get a gratification out of it because they know that, it's pushing the buttons, but they really don't have that same sort of emotional concern. It's more of the fact that they're manipulating, somebody against their will. So, these are some, examples that you might help kind of fit into some scenarios that you've experienced where you're feeling that this person is not reacting responsibly or as they should, or they put you in harm's way and you're concerned about this. How could they do this? And you're kind of feeling that this person is not reacting properly. There's something atypical. There's something wrong. Why this person isn't reacting with a normal sort of reaction of fear or concern or anxiety. I hope these videos help. Please share and subscribe, especially share for people who need it. And please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Have a beautiful day.